All right, here we go. Question number 12 from our Precalculus homework number 3 in MyLab Math. We have another guided visualization question. We're going to have to click the link to open. Notice it says set the values of C to 1, A to 2, H and K both to 0, and then use the slider to adjust the value of A. That's what we've been doing in the last two examples. That value of H from -3 to 3. Pay attention to the equation of the logarithmic function. Here we are focusing on domain. So if you read down here, it says the domain of this function given would be, and so we need to focus on what the domain of a logarithmic function is based on changing h from -3 to 3. So if we set our sliders A to 2, C to 1, H and K both to 0, again mine are already set to the values they ask, we can see that the domain of this function is going to be from 0 to infinity. Remember, the domain are the values that x can be, and since there is no graph to the left of the y-axis, then the domain will not include any negative values of x. And since there is an asymptote at 0, then the graph cannot be 0. So the domain would be everything from 0, not including 0, to infinity. As we slide h to the left, you're going to notice that shifts the vertical asymptote, which will also shift the domain. So now the domain would be everything from -3, not including -3, to infinity. Shifting h to the right, again, shifts the vertical asymptote, which also shifts the domain. So the main thing that I want you to get from this is that the location of the vertical asymptote determines the domain of the function. So if the function opens up to the right, then the domain is going to be everything from the vertical asymptote to infinity. There are some cases where the graph will open up to the left, and if you are wondering what would cause that to open up to the left, it would be a negative directly in front of the x. Again, thinking back to our transformations that we've covered previously, we know that a negative directly in front of the x is a horizontal flip, which would make that graph open back to the left. If it did that, then the domain would be everything from -infinity up to the vertical asymptote. So looking at the function that we were given in our original MyLab Math window, we can see inside the log function it says x minus 5. So the -5 is going to be a horizontal shift. Plus is left, minus is right. So this would shift over from the origin to +5. So the vertical asymptote would be x equal 5. So the domain would be everything from 5 to infinity. And like I said, the asymptote will not allow the function to be 5. So we're going to have to use a parenthesis for the 5 because 5 is not included in the domain. Everything from 5 to infinity. And that's going to do it for that particular problem. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those in the comment section below, or you can text me. And thanks for watching.